Hand Drawn Lips is recorded and produced on Kulin Nation lands.
We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Sovereignty was never ceded, always was, always will be.
Hand Drawn Lips.
Amazing. Hi, Declan.
Hello, Anastasia. How are you?
I'm good, honestly. Good.
Good, me too.
How are you?
Me too. I had a pretty fitful slip last night because I went camping, solo camping, for the first time, just to like try out my equipment, and I heard like a kangaroo vocalize for the first time.
Oh, what did it sound like?
Do you know what a kangaroo sounds like?
No.
It's okay. I'm gonna do an impression, but it's it's terrifying. I thought it was like literally like a rabid dog was about to kill me. It sounds like, and then they go like awesome. They pant. And they kind of laugh as well. This like breathy chuckle.
Interesting.
It's really odd.
I am not loving that. Plus, they are jacked.
Yeah.
Which
True.
is
not these ones.
Scary.
These ones were pretty chillaxed, actually.
I one time was on like a family holiday. I was like 15 maybe, and it was like in this place called Long Beach, which is sort of like a little tiny beach town, and I like went out to like have a moment of 15-year-old solitude, as one does, and I was like sitting with like a group of maybe 7 kangaroos. It was like, I'm being really chill right now. I was so scared.
This is my family now.
That's it. I was like, I'm trying to like have some thoughts about my life, and you're really distracting me. They didn't seem to get it, but I should have appreciated nature.
No, literally. You're just like my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
To a kangaroo.
Exactly,
Yeah.
for real.
I didn't see any other animals. I did see some rustling in the bushes. Do you know when people like, do you ever read like ghost stories on Reddit and they'll be like, I had the feeling I was being watched.
Yeah.
And they go, and then usually to legitimize it, they'll say something like, I almost never feel this way.
Yeah.
But this day I had a distinct feeling of being watched. And I'm like, the feeling of being watched is like purely a something of your own creation.
Does it well?
It's purely internal.
I have thoughts on the idea of being watched.
Okay, well, I'll just quickly say that I felt I was being watched in the woods and hightailed it out of there. But there is something, like once I started to feel that way, I couldn't unfeel it. Yeah. Like it was, I was working myself up in my head. And
I feel like
believe
it's real.
Okay.
I think
All
it's
right,
real. Wait,
sure.
what do you believe? What do you believe?
Well, I guess I know that it's not physically possible, and so it can't be real. Like I wouldn't actually say there were like spirits watching me in the woods.
And I would say that there were spirits
Do you
watching
think
you
there
in the
were
woods.
spirits in
I
the
think there were
Octopus
spirits
National
watching
Park?
you. I'm definitely.
I don't know how our audience will react to the idea of like forest spirits.
You need to have like this is a beautiful exploratory podcast where one person believes in spirits in the woods and the other one is a scientific materialist.
I know this is so not like our brand. I feel like I'm often the one taken by fancies, and you're often the one.
Do you think so?
With a more practical perspective.
I like practice magic.
True. Yeah. Okay. No, you are right. I guess I am more of a practical, pragmatic mind. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The rumors are true. The rumors are true.
But in this moment, I really felt like I was being chased. Don't go camping alone. And by the way, like, if you're gonna do something like that alone, like, I'm just gonna do some me time. I'm just gonna like do this thing. It's just gonna be me. You actually have to put as much effort into it as you would if you were doing it for a person, which I feel like this is kind of preaching to the choir sort of vibes, but
isn't that the whole thing?
It is, yeah. I mean, you're constantly making points about like you really got to love yourself, like in an important way.
Self-compassion. I'm a fucking broken record on that shit.
I didn't fucking love myself enough to even bring firewood. So when everyone else was cooking up like a beautiful storm, I was making a tuna avo sandwich on the floor, going, why have I done this to myself? Like, for whose benefit?
As my beautiful sister Olivia says, you live and you learn, and if you ain't learning, you ain't living.
Correct.
So you
can't
learn
find
something.
any problem with that statement.
So next time you go, you will bring firewood.
I will. And a
That's the
camping
thing.
chair as well.
Camping chair. That's big. Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to find things to sit on in nature. They're all pointy.
It's kind of like everything in nature is being like, don't sit on me.
Literally.
Which is why we enjoy the comforts of the city.
I know, extremely.
When
And
you think
cities
about
don't have midges, tiny spiders. Well, they have all those
do.
things, actually. Did I
Yeah.
tell you a spider laid 1 million eggs somewhere in my house? And now
You
all
mentioned
four of
this.
us are finding little baby spiders in our pillows, in our bed
everything.
sheets.
That's everything. That legit is a eldritch horror. It's a nightmare.
I know.
Is that what eldritch horror is? I actually
To me, yes.
good.
It
Okay.
is. Usually
long as-
eldritch is more like it's spiders and it's squids.
Oh, I thought it was like what?
Hey.
Hey, hi.
Hey, connect with me. Don't you think it's funny that people used to find, I guess people must have found squids scary, but these days, like, we're not really encountering squids so much.
Do you know what has recently happened with me and like octopuses? Is
One tried to fuck you.
No.
Oh.
But
Okay.
close. Oh.
The lie detector has indicated to me that
For those who aren't viewing the video version of this, for that we're like recording this like through my laptop, and so anytime we like, it's actually not clear what is prompting this.
yeah.
But like suddenly like a bubble with a giant thumbs up will happen. And then you said something before and like fireworks appeared in like one of the test runs. So we're just kind of like,
Yeah, we
Get
don't know what it is.
yeah, we're not so sure what that's about, but we will ultimately see. And I think it adds a spice to it.
What happened with you and this octopus?
Oh, so I fell down like a TikTok rabbit hole. It's been a while and it was lovely to be back there.
The warm waters.
The warm waters in which you may find many octopuses. I just searched in the search bar octopus and it gave me everything I needed to see because they're cool. They're awesome.
Yeah, what mood were you in where you went, oh God, just a hit of octopus videos would really
It's like actually
stabilize me.
fucking hilarious of you to ask that because what it was like appraising it thematically is like a desire to connect with nature, but I'm on TikTok. What just happened?
That's fucking hilarious that you were wanting to connect with nature and your way of doing it was octopus videos. Like,
Appraising it thematically, like I could have walked to a park,
Yep.
but I was on my iPhone looking at videos of octopuses, which like ultimately it was really nice. I was honestly completely emotionally like connected into these stories of sort of octopuses. And they're kind. One guy like was swimming with one and then brought it to the shore and his kids were playing with it. And then when he went to like free it, it stayed and kept playing with the kids. So I know, so cute. It was crazy. Anyway, so I was
the twist,
talking-
it's a blue ringed fucking octopus,
No, it was
and they were all
one.
found dead.
It was a normal one. It was heartwarming. It was heartwarming.
Can't they really like fuck you up as well? They probably wanted
Probs.
to try and eat the kids. We don't know what was
We
going
don't
in through
know.
its
There
brain.
are things in this world we will never understand.
True or false? Octopuses are smarter than humans. Have more brain capacity than humans.
Impossible to measure in a way that matters.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
could an octopus do an email job?
Probably.
Me, when my boss calls me into a meeting, he's like, "Sorry, like you're being outperformed. Like we're gonna have to put you on a performance improvement plan, and your competitor has 8 fucking tentacles, and so can type
Really?
emails 4 times as fast."
Wait, be quiet because like, people might get ideas.
People might. That's true.
I was
the
gonna
next
say
gen is not AI; it's the fucking octopus coworker.
maybe AI is employed by big octopus.
My octopus teacher, more than likely. Go on.
I was gonna say I was talking to a friend of mine about how I was like, I'm having an amazing time watching octopus videos on TikTok, and he was like, can you send one of them to me? And so I sent it to him, and then he was like, oh, that's like so nice or whatever. I was the one of the kids playing with it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And then yeah, he was like, yeah, I feel like I don't eat octopus because like they seem to be quite intelligent or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm not really ever in situations where I'm eating octopus. Last night, played a calamari. Completely forgot about it. Realized halfway through.
Damn.
and was like, shit, fuck octopuses. Like, yes, yeah, damn, for real.
Your morality is
That's
so
crazy.
fraught on this, you don't even realize you're
No,
doing it.
legit. It just turns out that the morals that I gained through TikTok were not quite so.
Also, calamari is not octopus.
It's squid,
It's
right?
a type. I guess they're a similar kind of invertebrate mollusk, but
Yeah.
according to
Yeah,
my
yeah.
research,
This is where you're a science guy, and I'm like, oh.
well, I'm about to become an ethics guy because, like, do we think it's necessarily more evil? I say this as someone who eats all kind of meat indiscriminately, but is it more evil to kill a creature if it has higher order thinking and therefore I guess the worry is that they'll have a capacity to like experience like genuine grief over their lost life, like
yeah, well,
not just pain but some sort of higher order like existential dread.
yeah. Like for example, I'm eating calamari, but that octopus before it was caught and turned into calamari,
Yeah.
or the mollusk or whatever the fuck,
Comprehended the enormity of how the absurdity of it
was
being
going
turned
for a
into calamari.
promotion at the email job. And boom, like a life gone like that.
Yeah. Tim
And
didn't
then-
come in last week. Me like licking salt and pepper off my fingers. I wonder why.
That's it. And that's how you stay on top. That's legit funny. That's legit funny. Wait, I'm gonna open the door so as to get some air.
Oh my god, thank you. It's sweltering in here. Slipping through my fingers all the time. I try to capture every minute. The feelings in it. This is just to say on the drive back from the campsite today, I was listening to the Goon Stacks, famous Brisbane band.
Oh, yes.
God, I hope they come back. They
I
were
saw
so
them at a house
good.
show when I was like a teenager.
I've never seen them.
Oh my god.
You win.
Yep.
You were going to cool house shows when you were a teenager because that was inaccessible to me, honestly. I was aware they were
Yeah.
happening, but I never copped an invite.
I was going to these shows like to show face. Ultimately, as a teenager, I felt a need. I felt need to be seen.
A teenager with the kind of attitude and approach of like a 1940s socialite. Like,
Like yeah. And by the way, brilliant way to live.
Yeah.
But what happened? Oh, it was so scary. I got like threatened by this like terrifying lesbian, sort of known throughout the land.
What kind of threat was she making to you?
So I'm gonna have to like think about how to characterize this story, so as to anonymize. But basically, like,
Amplify. Amplify.
yeah, and really like make sure that I'm characterized. Hey, don't hurt yourself.
My joints are fucked.
Yeah.
I'm all
And I'm
fucked
proud
up.
of you.
Thanks.
So there's that. No, I was at this show, and around the time there was like this very like well-known girl throughout Brisbane. She was like, you know, like
Name? No.
yeah,
Never
this
crossed
was sort of
paths.
like so. She was like, you know, she had tattoos underage, and like she had like, you know, dropped out of school and was sort of in this like group.
Her mom
of,
is like tearing her hair out, like,
It's like I think there was like honestly quite a bit going on. I look back at it and I'm like, I wonder what that situation kind of really was. But in any case, she was like sort of like bad and like, you know, would tell her how it is and da da da.
Right.
Anyway, like we were friends for a bit, and then
Important context. Validation from a girl like that at that point in your life, was that important?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um,
I would be very concerned about what that person thought of me.
well, at some point, or maybe in the beginning, yes, but at some point, I think I was reading out one of like my like theory of knowledge essays, which is like a philosophy subject that you do in IB. Brag. And then she was like, "Whoa, that's like actually really smart." And I was like, "Oh, what?" Like I don't know. And then she was like talking so much shit, and I was like, "Oh, wait, I don't think you've actually thought about this." Like I don't know. The things she was saying were very like absolutist and just like seemed a little bit reductive. Whatever. I'm so sorry that is so vague, but basically I got to a point where I was like, honestly, she's not all that. Whatever. Like I don't really give a fuck about her anymore. But yeah, she was quite important to like everyone up until that point, and just like really scary.
So you're saying when you were friends with her, like her takes didn't her interior world didn't match up to the exterior.
Yeah, her takes just like weren't like everybody was like seemingly going with it because she was scary, whereas I was like,
Right.
oh, she's kind of nothing.
Hmm.
So fast forward, she's dating this like ex-con like big tall scary lesbian, and I'm at this house show, and the big tall scary lesbian trips me over. I'm like 15, or like I like trip over. I don't fall, but I was like, oh, what the hell? And then like fully is like in my face, like blah blah blah, being like, you're a fucking like beep 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 piece of shit, like da,
What
da, da.
precipitated this?
That apparently like me being like I don't think her girlfriend is all that precipitated like her being like, do I
Damn.
ever fucking talk shit? And I was like, ah. Anyway, so that was my experience with house shows.
Did you leave?
Yeah. I went home. And I was like, oh my god. And then
Yeah, I literally don't have to be here.
we kept that one to
God,
ourselves
but
for a while.
wouldn't we all like someone to go to bat for us like that? You know?
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want what they have.
Lord, I
For
mean,
real.
I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm ultimately glad that I'm ultimately glad for what it represents about kind of
Thanks, Declan.
what it represents about like
Hey,
relationships.
I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, well, obviously it was very character building for you because, well, I almost never see you trip over these days.
Yeah, it's true. But
Yeah.
when I do, it's gonna be bad.
I'm right back there.
I know. I've been kind of like I've been safe for a couple of years, and so I've got a big trip sort of coming up. I will a big trip. Yeah,
A
I'm
big
like,
trip coming up.
as I say it, I'm
Well,
like
bon voyage.
like enchanté. What?
Bye.
No.
Falls down a flight of stairs.
Wilhelm scream.
See you on the other side.
I was
like
gonna-
waving a napkin as you go down.
Farewell. Yeah. So when I trip, it's gonna be fucking over, bitch.
Oh fuck! I ate shit the other day. I'm still waiting to heal. I tripped over my own 2 feet. Tripping over sucks.
In front of a group of people.
In front of a bus full of people. Well, a bunch of people sat. It was really humiliating. I just tripped over my own 2 feet, landed on, because I think it's been a while since I've fallen.
Mm.
And with me, let's just be frank, with either of us, like, it's a long way down.
Yeah. Big. Yeah.
Right. It's the fucking Burj Khalifa.
And you think
between
like you can catch yourselves with these like big long limbs, but ultimately they just get in
No,
the way.
literally. Well, I landed on both my elbows and both my fucking knees. Because it was so absurd. It was like no survival instinct at all. Just bleeding from it.
Men used to go to war. The
gotta
thumbs
have
up
the thumbs
is back.
up.
Incredible.
But yeah, no, I fully ate shit. I'm still healing from it. The jury's kind of out on, like, God, I've had this Band-Aid on for 8 weeks and it doesn't look infected, but it doesn't look much better. It must have been pretty bad, I think. It was probably really bad. I probably should have gone to the hospital.
Yeah.
Me addressing the
Definitely.
camera.
My favorite hypochondriac. Did you address the camera or the screen? Were you looking at yourself or the camera?
Doesn't matter. You just
Does.
called me a hypochondriac, and I actually do identify with that.
Yeah.
It's helpful for me to recognize that
it's important.
Yes, it's not coming from objectivity.
Recognition is the first step, as I'm always saying, and I made that up. No, I can't believe you fell on your knees and your elbows. Men used to go to war.
Yes. So, true.
What the hell?
God help me if I got a bullet through the fucking chest. Like,
Honestly,
seriously.
you wouldn't be worried about it. You'd sort of be on to the next incarnation. You'd be dead. That's what I'm saying.
I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
Or I'd be on so much like army issued meth that I wouldn't even fucking care.
Legit, your heart would still be beating.
Honestly.
It's like a gay soldier. This is my impression of a gay soldier.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could not get shot in the chest. That would kill me. Is that anything?
Yeah, I guess a gay soldier would do that. Wait, do you have a diva of the week?
Yeah, well, it's sort of... I kind of have an anecdote. I guess the diva will become apparent, I suppose.
Okay.
So
Diva, wait. You tell an anecdote and then we the audience guess what the diva is after who the diva is. And you go,
Yep.
no, it was the city was its own character.
It's like, so who was the diva? And then like it pauses and options show up. So this is like back on New Year's Eve at Pika. There was like a couch section where you could like chill out.
I remember the low sensory zone.
Yes. So I was sitting there with Diva Supreme Annabelle. And also Annabelle's partner, and then like Annabelle's partner's like housemate, I think. We're all there sort of geeking hardcore, and then sorry, I got a sense memory to something.
The smell of amyl and hot sweat.
No, so we're sitting there and like we're kind of chatting. We're maybe approaching the point where we're ready to like go and dance again. And then these two like dudes, I want to say like between 35 to 42.
Ouch.
They come over and one of them is like in this like shitty like millennial dude way of like speaking like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, excuse me, indubitably.
It's kind of hard for me to imagine someone doing that in public, but
so
I believe
he comes up and he's like, would you mind if we do some drugs here? And then we like, Annabelle and I look at each other, we're like, yeah, sure. She like looks to me and is like, that's how cute. And then his other friend goes and sits across like from where we're sitting next to Annabelle's partner. Annabelle's partner says to this other guy, oh, we're about to leave, so make yourself comfortable. You can have like the whole space. And he didn't hear it. And so the dude like takes out an earplug or something and goes, Hawada hoo-ha? And we were like, oh my God, let's go. So I think maybe they were my two divas. Because it was like,
overwhelming millennial cringe.
can we please have some drugs here? And then Hawada hoo-ha was like... And I'm like, bring that back, honestly.
It's like Scooby-Doo-esque.
Kinda, yeah. It's something. But I just thought, like, to say what a hoo-ha... I'm honestly, like, kind of... I think he's my diva.
Yeah. Saying what a hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Whenever someone invents, like, a brand new phrase like that, unfortunately, that
but
is
it's
diva,
sort of
diva
it's like
behavior.
a callback to like you said, it's sort of that Scooby-Doo-esque like cartoon character vibe. Like they both seemed like oh,
What?
you know, like in a cartoon there'll be like episodes where they're like transported into real life.
Yeah, like Cartoon Network sort of.
Yeah. Like
era,
suddenly
yeah.
they're in the real world, or like Homer Simpson walking down like the main street. I think that's what happened to them. They were characters from like a cartoon and they were in real life. That's the only explanation I can think of.
And usually when they come into real life, they're hyper realistic in a way that accentuates all their like crevices and flaws. And
yes, and they also still talk like a cartoon.
were these men like quite haggard looking?
Yeah.
God, actually at Pika,
They looked like shit.
Sometimes you really see someone who you're like, you've been burning the candle at both ends for a little bit too long.
So, not just Pika.
Not
You'll
just
see
Pika.
that.
My diva of the week has got to be two people, Anna and Lewis, who had like a New Year's dinner thing with a fucking entree and a main and a like dessert.
Yep.
As well.
Divine.
Just like the whole thing effortlessly curated. It was astounding. They had like a menu on the wall, and the whole time I was thinking about like, fuck, like, is this what's necessary to create a vibe? Like,
there's like a team of 6 people in the kitchen.
Like on it, well, 2 people working as much as 6 people, and then there was 2 or 3 prior days of preparation, all for that. And I also noticed this feels like a cultural thing or something like that. Maybe I just wasn't picking up on it, but everyone who was attending, including myself, actually just kind of like took it on the chin, like, oh, that's lovely. Not, oh my God, like you've prepared all this food for it. Like no one was actually amazed. I was amazed.
No, but like, did you go like, oh my God, like?
No, I guess not.
Everyone was probably amazed, experiencing a similar level of reverence for the work put into it. Yeah. But I think there's something to be said about like, the playing the part and being like, oh, this is so nice. Like, thank you so much. When like really the undercurrent is like everyone's quite impressed by the work.
Yeah. Well, you're acting like it's yours. This is your standard for a vibe.
No, not at all. Not at all. Sorry. Let me clarify.
No, but it kind of should be our standard for a vibe.
I think like there's nothing stopping us. I don't want to do.
I'm gonna host something like that. Next movie night I host, I'll do entrees and things.
Absolutely. It's like you can actually like cook something that doesn't take 15 minutes to put together.
Yeah. Well, a really easy one I thought of is I just take my own naked body and cover it in sashimi, and then I'm laying down outside for 2 to 3 hours. What
are you doing next week? Like, let's make some time
to absolutely make that happen.
That's like literally such a good idea.
And on my taint, an oyster.
With a pearl.
With a pearl.
With a beautiful pearl. A clam.
What?
A clam on your taint.
Yeah.
The tainted clam. The clammed taint.
Who will be brave enough to taste the tainted clam?
That's it. Really, should you access the pearl? That's nothing.
This is taken on a bit of like maybe the dinner's more of a murder mystery vibe.
Yeah. Who put the...
Someone on this plague ship.
Declan killed the vibe with the pearl on the taint.
The doctor's sick. He's in his quarters throwing up. We have to figure out which of the cargo on this here plague ship contains the disease that killed him.
Do you think it's that box of rotting fish?
No, probably
I think
not.
it's the box of rotting fish. Yeah. That's how I would be. It's hard to be a pragmatist when people want to be doing murder mysteries. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm getting shot.
I guess the beginning and the end of this point is literally like just accepting a higher standard for hosting.
I think it's good to put a lot of effort into like a little party.
I know.
I think we had like a test run of that.
It's vulnerable almost, actually.
Yeah.
Like
legit.
Because what if not as many people as you thought would show up? And then it's like, I did all this.
No, that's the thing though, is that like it really is like hard to like, you want to bring people together and like host a thing, and then it's like I don't know if people will show up, and then there's like, if less people than you had hoped for show up, there's like this internal sort of strife of like, is it the time of year and everyone's really tired, or is it that they don't like me, or is it that like, it was too far to get, or was there not enough like time in advance, like notice, or
there
like
must
whatever.
have been an 11-car pileup on my main
there
road. Otherwise,
an 11-car pileup.
Otherwise, people would be here.
Yeah, all good guy whose friends don't like him. There must have been an 11-car pileup on my road.
There must be some sort of plague that I wasn't aware of.
It's important to just keep trying. I had like, actually, is this anything?
Okay.
If we can jump into that, because it's sort of like tied into this. So I had like this year where I was living half the year in a different city, and then when I did the second half of the year back here in Melbourne, I like went to organize a birthday party. And I invited like 40 people, and legit 5 people showed up.
Damn.
In that list. Yeah.
Damn.
It was crazy. And like it was fun and like fine in the end. And then ultimately the way that I felt after that was like, I need to like invest a lot more in like friendships, so that I want to be a nice person that people like, so that they want to come to my birthday party. And it's interesting that was the initial thing that was like motivating me into ultimately good behavior.
This is my fault.
It was kind of like, yeah, like something's wrong here. It's either the quality of the friendships, or like I'm not assessing this properly, or like whatever it is. Because I really thought more people would show up. It's kind of sad. And then the next year I had a party. More people showed up. Not as many as I thought would. That was fine. And I was like, I guess this is better, but like I'm glad, like I have really nice people around me and I had a fun time anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then the final year in this little story is like this most recent year, having like a little party, and people that I did not expect to show up, but like invited as a courtesy, like showed up. And that was really nice. And I feel like it was like a moment to look back at that initial like shitty party and be like, oh,
if I was a statistician and I were to plot that,
Mm.
me platting that.
Yeah. But all those stories together.
Yeah. If I were to plot that on a graph, that would be an exponential increase.
Yes, it
So
would.
ostensibly by your 25th birthday party,
Mm.
there'll be 1,000 people there.
Bitch, my 25th is going to be so fun. I'm like already planning it.
What is it? What have you got? What do you foresee?
It's a secret. Oh my God, I can't say it on pod.
My Is This Anything is the idea of when I was driving back here and I was listening to the Goon Sax and I was singing, because my voice is kind of similar to the lead singer's voice, there was a consonance and like a harmonic resonance to our voices together,
Divine.
which made me sound amazing. But when I'm, as I often am, singing songs in the car, they're in like more of a female register or something like that.
Mm.
It sounds strained as hell. It sounds strained as hell. I guess the Is This Anything is just about like,
That moment of beautiful resonance.
well, it's about finding your range and everything that means.
It's everything to me.
yeah, it is everything.
I'm really glad you had that moment.
yeah.
It's like
Finding your playing field.
Yeah, well, yes. I love sort of hearing people's experiences of like the skill taste gap. You know,
Yeah.
you aspire for greatness. I was gonna say something. Is this anything? I've been listening to a lot more Caroline Polachek. Finally. Oh
Yeah.
no!
No, it
I was
is.
like, oh shit! Like,
It is.
I was like one guy I
Um,
thought that would make happy.
I mean, I don't think anyone's in her range. It's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, I'm not talking about like wanting to sing like her. I've just been listening. She's a computer. I think she is a musical instrument.
Yeah.
She can manipulate her voice in a way that I think she has maybe she's being remote controlled.
Apparently, she was pretty much like that live. That's what I hear.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Did you see her live?
No, I didn't get to go.
You saw Chapel Roan live before anyone knew about her.
I did, yeah, as part of a Hinge date. Took me there. No, I can't.
It's Tessa.
Okay, well, I guess I have one thing that's kind of unrelated, which is like when I was camping, I had to do a 1 a.m. piss, and I had a premonition that was going to happen. Like I knew as I was going down that I'm going to need to pee in about 3 hours, and it's going to be a fucking nightmare. And tell me why. As I was peeing, I didn't really notice this at the time, but as I was peeing, I walk up to the toilets and there's a water tank and it's painted like this. Tell me, it's got fucking eyeballs.
Put it to the camera.
I'll
we'll
just post
edit
it on
in.
Instagram.
Yeah,
but
oh yeah, we
isn't
have
that
to remember.
insane? Like, imagine how scared I was.
I like actually like don't know how I would respond to that. This is like already camping is like okay, I'm out of my comfort zone. This is different, and then that's something that's like, do you feel bad? Let me make you feel one little bit worse.
Yeah, the camping is scary as fuck. Well, you know, we don't have bears in. So technically, if you're walking through the forest, there's pretty limited risk as to what can happen to you.
Yes.
Generally.
Just like it's usually like user error vibes. So thank God there are no bears. And did you pee all right? You got it. It was fine. You
I
didn't-
peed, but I didn't
At
tie
what
my
cost?
shoelaces. Kicked up the seat. Shoelace went down the drop toilet. Touched the sides.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
that
it's fucking
sucks.
ew.
That's nothing.
It's extremely ew. There was also some like other girls at the campsite whose conversations I was hearing as vividly as if they were in my own head. And there was one of them was this girl being like, they were doing that kind of classic thing where you're kind of having like a slight disagreement with your friend, but you're sort of like couching it in like kindness. So like,
like yeah.
yeah. Well, you're more argumentative, but like you stand your ground more is what I mean. You're like, I was just listening to this being like, damn, they
Oh,
really
that's
came out
hard.
here to work some shit out.
Actually, Caleb Heron has a really funny bit. It's like POV, you're like talking to your friend who is absolutely in the wrong. And it's like, I can totally understand how you would feel that way. Just like, oh my God, I've been there so many times. Very
Heavy.
hard terrain to...
Well, it used to be that it was... Did you ever do tarot readings? Is this anything, actually?
Yeah.
So tarot readings are a really good excuse to just tell your friend what they've been needing to hear, but like couch it in sort of new age spirituality.
Interesting.
The cards are telling me
I've never taken this
that
approach,
you need
but-
to seriously reconsider whether the like being in university is right for you, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to do.
I've actually never done that. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm an honest person. I let the cards
Well,
decide,
if you're
and I
getting
read the
into
little book
new age stuff. Like, absolutely pick up a tarot deck and start doing readings for people.
and like manipulate them. Yeah.
Well, it's
Great
up to
idea.
you whether you choose to manipulate. them,
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
I'm getting this message from Source. Break up with your boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm getting this message from Source. I need $100. I need $100
That's
hard
real as fuck.
cash.
It's about. So this seems to be talking about charity to those close to you, and you're sourcing a sense of being able to provide for others, but that seems to be coming up really within your friendships. Oh God.
This being upside down symbolizes that you're going to have to really think and take a look at yourself for this one. And this little crab actually represents
Me.
not holding on to something like a crab claw that's not right for you. So you just kind of want to release that crab claw, and then that will take you to this next one, which is man on a boat. That's freedom.
Yeah, and I'm
You know?
getting an amount like $150, $200. I'm getting $200. Does that resonate? It feels like it resonates. Yeah, so $200 and like about like who it is. Like
and that's actually an
within-
angel number, $200.
Exactly. I'm seeing beautiful gold earrings and a pearl necklace.
Yeah, check the
and-
time. It's 200 o'clock.
It's 200 o'clock.
Yep.
Obsessed. That's everything.
I do not have another Is This Anything
Neither do I.
at the moment.
That's just it for us.
Do you have anything that's top of mind?
I just can't stop thinking about what a hoo-ha.
What a hoo-ha.
What a hoo-ha.
Hello.
Bring
what a
it
hoo-ha.
back. I had a crazy as fuck week, and I got through it. So that's my final Is This Anything, is getting through a tough week of just like a few days of crazy tears.
Yeah, that's everything.
And then processing, and then check-in chat, a positive resolution.
You got there.
It's everything.
You
No, it
got
actually
there.
was everything. So shout out.
Shout out.
Feeling resolved. All right, well, love.
Love. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.